Every night, like clockwork, at 11:45 p.m., Daniel would stand at the bus stop just outside the hospital. He was a janitor there. To most of the bustling doctors and nurses, he was just part of the background, a silent figure keeping the halls gleaming. But Daniel didn't mind. He took immense pride in his work, knowing that a clean hospital was a safe hospital. He saw his role as a vital, if unsung, part of the healing process. One evening, the kind of evening where the rain doesn't just fall but throws itself at the city, the last bus never showed up. Daniel stood there, the flimsy shelter of the bus stop, doing little to protect him from the downpour. He was soaked through, tired from a long shift, and feeling the chill seep into his bones. Just as a sigh of defeat escaped him, a car pulled up. The window rolled down, and a warm, concerned face peered out. It was Clara, a nurse he'd often see rushing through the corridors. "You're going to catch a cold standing out here," she said. "Hop in, I'll give you a ride." Hesitantly, Daniel got in, trying not to drip all over her clean car. The silence was a bit awkward at first, broken only by the rhythmic thump of the windshield wipers. But then, Clara asked him about his night, and the conversation began to flow. They talked about the simple things, the little details that make up a life. They laughed about the terrible coffee in the staff room, complained about shoes that weren't made for 12-hour shifts, and shared stories of the strange, funny, and sometimes sad things they'd witnessed at the hospital. During that short drive, Daniel learned something about Clara. He learned that behind her confident nursing facade, she held a quiet dream of becoming a doctor. But she was held back by a nagging voice of self-doubt, a fear that she wasn't smart enough or good enough to make it through medical school. In return, Clara learned something about Daniel. He wasn't always a janitor. He had once been a promising engineering student, full of ambition. But life had intervened. Family obligations had forced him to put his own dreams on hold, choosing a steady job to support the people he loved. That rainy night started a new routine. They began sharing rides home often. Those car rides became their sanctuary, a space where they could shed their professional roles and just be themselves. The conversations grew deeper, moving past small talk into the realm of hopes, fears, and aspirations. Daniel became Clara's biggest cheerleader. He'd listen to her doubts and counter them with simple, unwavering belief in her abilities. "You're one of the smartest people I know, Clara," he'd say. "You see things others miss. You'd make an amazing doctor." His encouragement was the push she needed. With newfound determination, Clara filled out her medical school applications. Inspired by her courage, Daniel felt a spark of his old ambition rekindle. He looked into night classes, realizing it wasn't too late to pick up where he left off. He enrolled in an engineering program, juggling work and study with a renewed sense of purpose. They supported each other through late-night study sessions, celebrated small victories like a passed exam or a well-written essay, and picked each other up after setbacks. Years flew by, filled with hard work and mutual encouragement. Clara, no longer a nurse full of doubt, graduated from medical school. She was Dr. Clara now. And Daniel, the janitor who once watched his dreams fade, was now a qualified engineer, designing and building things he had once only sketched in old notebooks. The story comes full circle on a bright, sunny afternoon. A crowd gathered for the grand opening of a new community clinic. Dr. Clara stood at the front, beaming with pride as she prepared to cut the ribbon. And standing right there beside her, not in the background, but as her guest of honor, was Daniel. They looked at each other and smiled, a silent acknowledgement of the incredible journey they had shared. The last bus never came that one rainy night, but in its place arrived something far more important. A connection that changed the course of both their lives forever. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched you, please give it a like and subscribe for more content that celebrates the quiet, powerful moments that shape our lives. We'll see you in the next one.